Good evening. We have Michael, Charlie, Peter, Jay. Come on, how's it going? Yes, from me and Dimi, good evening, everyone. Mohammed and Ed. Ed is from Boise, Indiana. I think ID, is that right? Indiana? Indianapolis? I'm not sure. Sorry about that. James, Roger, good evening or good morning. Steve, goeienaand. Jennifer, great to have you here. And that's Dimi himself. Jeff is from Houston there in the USA. And then Volker, good evening to you. And welcome. We've got a big group here already, 93 people joined. Stratos, welcome back. Good to see the names here. Michael from Ireland. And then we have Samsu Zaman and David, Thierry, Anthony, Rod, Kirk from Florida, and Alessandro all the way from Italy. So I'm in the southern hemisphere, and Dimi is up there in the northern hemisphere. So it seems we've got mostly people from the northern hemisphere. Claudia from London, Patrick from Louisiana, Jade from Washington, and yes, I can go through the names. Here's somebody, Adigbinga from Nigeria, Australia. So it's very, very early or late, rather very late there. I think you guys are 7 or 9 hours behind me, so it's already past midnight. Good evening and good morning. Welcome here to Brizy, our webinar series. And what we do in the webinar showcase is usually to show you something that's in the works, that's been happening, and that may just be there around the corner. So let's start off our show for tonight and remind you quickly about the Brizy WordPress plugin lifetime limited license deal. That's going for $299 US, still 275 of them left. So if you haven't grabbed this goodie yet, consider that. Everything you saw in the previous webinar on WooCommerce and also what you're going to see tonight is included in that goodie for you there. Right, so let me just switch us quickly to another part of the screen. Tonight we're going to look at web stories. And for those of you who maybe have no idea what web stories is about, we did touch on it much earlier in the year before this crazy circus that is COVID-19 erupted. And since then, we've had a lot of people asking us, when is stories coming? When is stories coming? And tonight, we're going to show you what is the state of development on that. So that is the Brizy Web Story editor. And then Dimitri is going to surprise us, or at least tell us when this is going to come. Yeah, so don't get your hopes up. This is not going to be the WooCommerce like, hey, there's a beta ready. Let me not get your expectations up. Okay.
We'll see about that.
We'll see about that. Let's keep them low so we are not disappointed. We're going to run about an hour of your time tonight, and this is live screen sharing that Dimitri will be running for us. You can put your questions over in the chat room. I'll try and answer them for you. And then those I don't know, I will be throwing them over to Dimi. But naturally, I'm only going to be looking at questions tonight that is connected to stories. So any new releases, any new features, you have to hold on to another webinar where we will look at those. And then there's a surprise at the end. In any support questions, remember to visit us at support.brizy.io. So I'm JP, all the way from South Africa, and there's terrible fear of flying, which is good because this year I haven't been able to fly much, which is completely opposite of what I expected at the beginning of the year.
A good year to have.
It's a good year. And I had this conversation just this afternoon because South Africa from October 1st has allowed us to start traveling again to certain countries. So my duty to start traveling is opening up again. Now I have to not only go for visas and stuff like that, I also have to go for PCR, which is the COVID-19 test. It's a whole new world we are living in. So I'm an early bird. So you see 3:30 in the mornings. That's mainly because I'm an early bird, but also one of the 6 cats in the house wants to eat at 3:30 in the morning, and she's very insistent on that. And I am one of the content developers here for Brizy. You'll see me on YouTube a lot. So welcome and very glad to have you all here tonight. Dimitri.
Hey. Yeah, thanks. Hey guys, I'm Dimi. I'm one of the founders here at Brizy. Some of you might know me. I'm one of the designers here as well. I'm partially responsible of the UI and user experience in the builder. And I work in WordPress and in the web since early 2000s, right after high school. So I have some years under my belt in the time when the web was a totally different place. If you remember, everything was coded by hand with tables and in HTML, and custom fonts on the web were something that didn't exist. So yeah, that's mostly some things about me.
Great.
Okay. Let me.
So I'm going to hand over to Dimi, and then I'll be keeping an eye on the chat room. I just request again that we will only be looking at questions tonight regarding stories. This is the stories exclusive. If there's something I can help you with, we'll help you with. And if you just want to also chat a little bit in there, then it would be very nice. Ramazan, thank you very much. That is my voiceover that I used to have way back when I was doing radio. That's many, many years ago. So I still do that kind of thing. Okay, Dimi, you're the man of the evening and the morning. Please tell us more about stories.
Yeah. So before we get into the nitty gritty, into the showing you the editor and seeing what's there in behind the scenes, I thought we'll go through a couple of slides and maybe touch a bit on web stories. Web stories are not the newest concept in the world, but it's something new, and we think the web is going to benefit of this. It will going to be something really important in the future. So what are Brizy Web Stories? They're basically mobile bite-sized mini sites, or we think that they might be the new mobile landing pages or the new mobile funnels. And what you'll see here in these three sort of definitions, if you want, you'll see a word that keeps repeating, and that's mobile. And that is because what you're building is basically a web story only on mobile, right? There is a desktop review for the web story, but mainly you'll be building it directly mobile first. So that's about it. Why use web stories? Well, from studies, you can look at the source right there, and all the sources on the web. The US, for example, the internet traffic this year was over 60% mobile, right? Google and all the tech giants, especially social media, but mostly Google, is starting to put more emphasis and give more weight to mobile traffic. And not sure you're familiar with, they also display web stories. They have a card when you search some terms. They also display web stories. So this is an important point, and it's a new way to interact with your audience, a more condensed, a more focused way. Who is it for? And I separated here in three categories. We have the sellers. You can sell services. You can sell products. We have the offline online interaction or link. I'll explain what we have in mind with this. Imagine, for example, the next time you're at a conference, or the next time you're having a business meeting, you're handing your business card, and maybe the business card contains also a QR code, right? And that QR code will bring your potential clients to your story. So maybe you'll wow them in this way and convert them in this way. Or maybe think about it like in retail stores, products that they sell. Maybe the products have a QR code, and that QR code links you to a direct story, right? So there are interesting possibilities here. It works well. It works great for onboarding processes. The next category is the publishers. The publisher can use web stories to capture interest for longer blog posts, especially when you're on the go. You don't have necessarily time every time, and you're not focused. Your attention span is all over the place. So maybe you'll access a story, see some headlines, see some a short highlight, and enjoy the longer blog post or the longer article later on when you're at desktop. It works great for how-tos and guides. And actually for everything that requires step-by-step or tutorials or lists. because as you'll see, is a swipe slider thing. So it works great for this. And also for marketers, we believe, I think that stories will be the new in the near future, or it will be the next thing in marketing. And the landing pages, especially for mobile and all this smartphone and tablet traffic, I think it will go to this kind of products, to web stories. You can do all sorts of stuff. You can create lead generation. You can create funnels, of course, landing pages, and I'm sure you guys will invent another 100 things that we can use web stories for that we didn't think about. So let's start with the showcase. GP, all good? Do we have some questions? We have to answer something, or
we have many questions, but you are going to answer all the questions with what you're going to show next. So okay. If anything skipped, then we'll come back to them.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so before we go into the builder, let me show you how web stories look. Web stories look like this, right? This is actually the desktop preview of web stories, because you'll access web stories from your mobile mainly. But we've created this desktop look to be able to preview them. And of course, they'll have a link so anyone can access them, be it on desktop or on mobile or tablet. Let me show another one. These are pre-made web stories that you'll.
Dimi, yes? I think you haven't shared your screen yet.
Yeah, it's possible. Thanks, GP. My bad. Right. My bad.
So start again there, because
yeah, of course, no problem. We have all night. Sorry guys, I had a long day, and let me see. Share your application window, Chrome. Excellent. It's okay.
Yes, we can see the inception.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I wanted to show you first, before we go into the builder, to show you how web stories look, right? A preview of a web story. This is a preview of a web story on desktop view. You'll mainly see this on mobile, not on desktop. But every web story, like any page from WordPress and Brizy Cloud, will have a link. So you'll basically be able to access that link and preview the web story on any device, be it desktop, be it desktop or mobile or tablet. Right. Let's go into the good stuff. And create a new story from scratch. I'll recreate one of our pre-made stories just to show you how everything works. What you want to do is go to Brizy and Stories. These are the first 7 that we've pre-made, but I'll go with a new one. Let's call it GP's story tonight.
This is going to be a sad story, right?
No, I'm sure it's not going to be one. A sad story. Is going to be a happy, funny story. A bit creative, at least. So this is the main builder. You'll be familiar with this because it's basically the Brizy builder that was modified a bit to let us create these stories, right? So here downstairs, let me make this a bit smaller. So here down at the bottom, we have all the slides. Let me delete one. And we'll start by creating the first slide. GP, if there are any questions or you want to discuss something in this process, this will take a couple of minutes. So I can build it and at the same time discuss or maybe answer some questions or things like that.
Right. So I'm going to throw the first question actually, as we see that what did you decide, or the team decide on the resolution for that story canvas? What is that size that we see there at the moment, and can that be changed or is that fixed?
This is a fixed canvas, but it's you'll see that it's on mobile. I'm sorry that I'm working on a local server, on a development server, and I can't give you a link to access it on your mobile phones, because that is where you'll do it. But the content adjusts itself on different resolutions. So basically we've picked one that is in a sort of a middle, and it will adjust on all the phones, on all the iPhones and Samsungs and everything like that. So on all the devices we've tested it was perfectly fine. So let's what you'll do is work with the builder the same way you'll work with the Brizy builder, right? We have elements here. Of course, we've removed a bunch of elements because we wanted to put here only the elements that make sense to let you build a story. So, for example, you'll not build the WooCommerce shops here or blogs or other dynamic things from WordPress. But so let me add the text, for example. And what you'll notice, the first thing you'll notice is that we've modified the builder to work like in Photoshop, right? You can drag anything here. There are no columns. We moved everything regarding the columns and the structures. Everything you click on, you can drag on the page. And
so we are talking about fixed positioning here. Will this be something that will also roll over to the normal builder, or will this be confined to the stories builder?
This is something that is currently in the builder, in the normal builder. If you
okay, so but it doesn't need to be activated, right? Here,
yes, it needs to be activated. You'll go to an element and you'll say make it absolute position, right? And then you can drag it on the page where you want. What it's a different way of thinking when you build websites in the Brizy builder for desktop, and when you build the web stories, because here are less variables, we can control everything more tight. We don't recommend you using absolute positioning to create your websites with everything floating around, because it will be a mess on responsive devices.
Right. So, Dimi, I think there's a lot of similarity, and people have asked, is this similar to Google Stories and Instagram, right?
Yes, it is similar to Google Stories. I'm not sure if it helps our case that we've started working on it first, but it's similar. It's similar to Google Stories.
And this is planned for both WordPress plugin as well as Brizy Cloud.
Exactly, this is planned for both.
Is it safe to assume that this is going to be a pro feature, or will this be coming to the free versions?
This will come to the free versions.
Really? So, okay. So Pele, there you go. It's a free one there. I'm going through the questions. Any advantages to the Google thing? Not so sure about that. Let me have a quick look here. Okay, so we whether this will be able to substitute as a blog. Alessandro asked earlier. Alessandro, I'm not sure it will substitute a blog, because with a blog you want dynamic content, and your stories is probably not going to run on dynamic content. It's not going to be a good substitute for a blog.
Most likely what you'll want, how you'll use this for publishing, for blogs and for things like that, is generate a story around an article, something catchy, something that engages the user in a couple of slides with the highlights, or with something that will bring the user basically to your full article, right? If you write 1,000 word article, it's hard to of course you can put here 35 slides, and it's not optimal, right? The way I'm seeing it, this is how you'll use it. You'll create a story for that article, but it will be something that will engage the user with the highlights in order to convert him to go to your full article and read the whole thing.
All right. So Jennifer, also on your question, is there a way to transport the content to desktop? Currently, there is a desktop view. It will not look like a normal website page. It will basically be like a small little slideshow. That what Dimi had showed at the very beginning is what will be the desktop view. So you will be able to share this link with anyone and they will be able to view it on a laptop or on a PC. It will just have a different display, very similar to how the builder looks at this moment. So you will have at the bottom your tabs, which you will tap. And once this one is completed, Dimi will also give us a look at how that will look. Let's see, what else do we have here? Is it connected? So publish on custom domain. So Jeff, this will be part, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dimi, if you publish it on your custom domain, whether it's a story or your site is irrelevant. They will run on the same domain, right?
Yeah, exactly. We need to separate things a bit here in stories for WordPress and stories for Brizy Cloud. In WordPress, you'll create it like you create a pop-up, right? Like you create a page with Brizy. It's the same. I can show you the backend in a minute, and you'll create it as a page. It will have like any page. It will have a link. And you'll be able to share it. You'll be able to track it. It will be a page on your domain, on your website where you have the WordPress installed. In Brizy Cloud, we'll have two kinds of web stories. We'll have web stories in your project. So think of them like you think of pop-ups in Brizy Cloud.
Okay.
You can create pop-ups in the project like a pop-up, and it will also have a link similar to WordPress. But we'll also have it as an external web story, as a separate product, like external pop-ups in Brizy Cloud. So basically, you'll create only a web story, and you'll be able to link it with a custom domain, and that's it basically. So you'll be able to have it in the project, on your current project you are working on, or separate as an individual project, as a standalone web story, if you like.
So Ferndale, I think that was the question he asked, whether the stories can be able to be embedded on pages and posts. And as what Dimi just said, it can have the same functionality as a pop-up. So you will be able to bring it onto your other pages within your builder as well. And then, so here's an interesting question, Dimi. Let's say I want to set this as my homepage, so that when people come to my site, this is what they will get to. I mean, it's going to be a little bit strange for your desktop, but I can imagine on a mobile device, it could work. So will it be able to run a menu? I didn't see the menu element in the elements there, right?
No. You won't be able to run a menu. And it's an interesting question, to be able to set it as a homepage. But I'm guessing you can, in WordPress, I'm not sure right now, and I don't want to, I need to talk with the guys and ask them if this can be a possibility. I'm not sure it is currently a possibility, but I don't see why we can't make it happen, develop it.
I think Patrick asked an important question, because with pop-ups, what we've been able to do is have external pop-ups, which we work through Brizy Cloud. Will it be possible to use stories in the same way that you can take stories and embed it on normal WordPress pages that were created with Gutenberg or other sites?
I think so, yes, but only for cloud. The same way as with external pop-ups, yes.
Yeah.
But don't quote me on that just yet. No, because I'm not 100% sure, but if I'm not mistaken, this is the thinking for having the web stories as a separate like pop-ups.
Right. So Jay's question, and we are still about how all of this will work. Is it possible that you can create a story and assign it that it will only pop up on or appear on mobile devices and not on a desktop?
This is not a possibility right now. If I'm not, this is not a possibility right now. You can access it from anywhere. Why would you want to block it for desktops?
I guess it's very similar to it's like conditions, right? I think this is maybe where it's leading to, like you have pop-ups with conditions and you can say it only appears on desktop. And I'm thinking maybe this is the background to that.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. You know what we'll do? We'll propose this product, and we'll see how you guys begin to use it, and we'll take all the feedback in, and of course we'll improve it for sure. So things like putting it on the front page, or creating an option to block it from certain devices, or things like that. Things like this, I'm sure they're not a big deal, but most likely we didn't think about them, or didn't think to incorporate such features right from the get-go. But I'm sure it's not a problem to add them in a future update.
Right. So Stephen, Amir, I think the questions that you guys have we've been discussing that, and I think there are some good ideas coming from the chat room tonight. So what would be the case is that stories will develop a lot on user feedback. Currently, I think it's in this form, and then based on how people will respond to it, there are some ideas already been shared. Mohammed, yes, we are recording this webinar, and if you want to watch it later again, or you need to leave, we understand. It will be on YouTube, perhaps within a few hours after this webinar, but it will be no later than tomorrow, so you can catch up there again. All right. Okay, so by Adam HR, he actually asked the question a few times. How are the pages indexed? So how will the story be indexed? I mean, we have different little pages there at the bottom. Are they indexed separately, or is it indexed as one page, the story?
No, it's indexed as a one page.
Okay.
You see, I'm not sure if you can see my URL here in the browser, but the URL doesn't change for each for each slide. But it's an interesting proposition, right? To have some IDs that can let you link into a story at a point in a story, right? Maybe you want to link somewhere at the third slide or the fourth slide. So
Martin asked, I think, a very important question regarding styling. And if I look at your builder, I see the styling brush there. So every time I create a story, will it have its own style for that entire series?
If you wanted to, of course, this styling, we kept it from the main Brizy builder. If you're not familiar with it, this is the global styling for your content. So basically, we have the colors here. Look, if I select the first color here as the color for this text, and if you work with the global colors in general across your website, it's very easy at some point, if you want to make some changes, or if the client asks you to, let's see how it looks with blue. You don't go through all the story to change purple to blue or orange to blue, but you only come here and change the main color from the globals, and this will reflect across your story, your page, your website. And the same goes with the typography. You can set global typography.
So, suddenly I cannot remember, Dimi. So if I change the styling here for this story, will the global colors also update other stories? Or no, each story will have its...
each story is instant with its colors and
Right. Stephen is asking, do we still have control for zindex so we can have layers?
Of course we have. Let me. We still need to work some kinks, iron out some little things. But let me bring in a short example here. So we have this image, and if I'll drag an icon, let's say. If I'll drag an icon here, and let me move this text up top. So this icon, if we go to the here in the right sidebar, we'll have that index here, and we can control it to stack things in different orders or different. Yeah, we can also rotate them. Of course, add different parameters, CSS and other nice stuff. So
is the rotate only for the stories, or is that also? Did I miss
sorry, is there a?
The rotate, is that new, or is that?
Yeah, is that new only for here? Yes, only for the stories. But of course, this is this. Some nice things here in stories, discussing about it, and some of the stuff from stories might go to the main builder.
Okay, so Dimi, while I'm looking at what you're doing, I didn't see this question. Those 3 stories that you've created, or what will we call them? Panels, pages?
Yeah, we can call them slides.
Slides, right?
Slides,
so
yeah.
can I rearrange the order, or do they stay like that?
No, they don't stay like that. Let me find the YouTube icon right here.
Okay.
No, they don't stay like that. You just go to the bottom here and just
click drag. Okay.
Yeah, click drag.
Good. Right, so
it's just as it's like this, right? The way you reorder blocks in the main builder, it's the same here. So
right. Patrick is asking the kind of question that makes me very scared, so I throw this one over to you.
Yeah.
To slide between the slides, is that pure CSS or JavaScript?
No, that's JavaScript.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mohammed is asking if there can be search features for slides in the stories.
No, inside the stories here, no. For the slides, no, there is no search feature.
Right.
The way you use this, Mohammed, you'll most likely create a story 6, 7, 8, up to 10 slides. Of course, you can add as many as you want, but the idea behind this kind of product in our mind is that you'll serve the user something very focused, right? Very, very objective driven. You'll serve some highlights for an article. You'll promote a webinar. You'll 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 slides. This is the approach, I think, not 30 slides with. But of course, you'll surprise us. I'm sure.
Yeah, the questions, I've never seen so many questions. So first of all, I want to congratulate everyone to sticking to the topic, but I've never seen so many questions for one topic. So very good here. And I think a lot of these are going to be important ones to consider. I keep scrolling down to catch up with all the questions. Let's go to Lucy, who's asking, is there a maximum of slides?
No, that I know of. Not that I know of. Maybe there is a ludicrous number, but you'll not. I'm sure you'll stop before reaching it.
Okay. Okay. Oliver is asking estimated time of arrival. We'll talk about that later. Adi is asking, can we embed custom code in stories?
Yes, we can. I hope my technology doesn't. Oh my God. Okay. We'll.
This
looks like story, yeah.
My stories just disappeared. You made a very good one for me.
I've made a good one for you, and it just disappeared. I'll go with. It looks like this is a development, right? A development server, and I've prayed not for a thing like this to happen. But look, it's what can you do,
in
right?
Development.
It's yeah.
And I told you, if you're going to start a story about me, it's going to be a sad story. So I'm managing.
Yeah, you were kind of right in a sense. I'll just go with the original one, important from here, and at this same, I'll get back to the code embedding in a second. Here is the header for the stories. You might know it from the Brizy Builder. So basically, we'll have some pre-mades here, and you'll be able to use these and add them on your individually on your as a slide. So basically you can mix and match if you like. Let me import this story that I was basing GP stories on.
Okay, so I think if I look at Shirley's question about whether this can be imported and probably be displayed on places like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, I think the answer is no, right? It's just going to be a link that you can share like any other URL.
Yes, that's correct. The answer is no.
And I saw Ferndale ask, can it be exported to JPEG? I don't think so. It's again just a URL. You can probably save it and try to convert it.
You could. I think you could try to like you do with a web page, right? Save it as a PDF from the browser or something like this. But it's not that kind of you'll not be able to save it. You can print screen it or something like this, but there are tools that save your desktop as an image. Look, to get back to your embed question, yes, we have we've kept the embed element in the web stories. So what you'll do like you do it in Brizy. You'll drag the embed element here and open it and copy paste a code, right? Let's just play with HTML a bit. So you'll be able to embed anything from outside, right? Maybe a third-party script or something like this. A video, anything that it's embeddable, right? You'll get the code and embed, I don't know, audio from different places or things like this.
So Ed is really looking at it from a conversion point of view. He's wondering if we can assign a pop-up to lead capture on any story page. So you have a story. Can you have a pop-up on that story page to capture leads?
You can't have a pop-up on the links. You'll see that only URL and file are displayed. I'm not sure I'm seeing the benefit here, because the story in itself, the slide in itself, can be we look at it if you look at it as a funnel, for example, with every slide being a step in the funnel, you don't usually put another pop-up in here. So you can basically, your slide can contain the information from the pop-up form or something like this.
Right. Pele is asking about an upload limit for images, 5 megabytes maximum. I think that would be for Brizy Cloud, right?
Yes, that will be for Brizy Cloud. WordPress, it's sky is the limit, right? If you have the space, you can go wild. But for web stories, you will not need 5 megabytes images. Believe me, you don't need the 5 megabytes images for web use.
Yeah.
So the stories will not.
And Pele, remember, it's 5 megabyte per image, not total. So you won't really need that at all, ever. Hopefully never. Jay is asking if there will be any layered or 3D parallax effects added to stories.
You can right now you can use the regular entrance animations that we currently have in Brizy, and that is because we are still working on the animation module. I'm not sure if you remember GP, we've presented a bit some designs and some concepts there for the animation module that we want to implement in Brizy. And when that will be ready, I'm sure it will come to web stories as well. The animation module is a cool thing. We didn't invent the wheel there. You can check other builders and see what's possible. But I think we've streamlined the experience and we've made it way easier to use and grasp. And when that will be available, it will come to web stories as well.
GIF images and motion-based graphics, will it be supported?
Yeah, for sure. You can. There are two ways to add them. You can add them as an image, or you can add them as an embed code, right? And you'll upload your GIF to your media file and then link it here, or maybe embed it directly from I can't remember the website.
Dimi, what is the element next to counter?
Yeah, let me find out. Countdown.
No, next to on the right.
Yeah, this is the shape element. This is a new element that we've created specifically for web stories. It's basically a shape element that you can use. So it's a shape element. You can make it round if you want. You can.
Okay.
You can change colors.
Yeah, I caught that one. I thought, wait a minute, I didn't see this one before.
No, because it doesn't make too much sense to be in the regular builder.
Right. So Dante is throwing a question and a half. Can or how will e-commerce be integrated with stories?
Interesting. Right now it's not integrated at all. So right now you can't bring anything related to your product. Of course, you can link to your product, right? You can present your product, but there will not be dynamically brought on a slide. But this is an open question, right? We'll see. What we want with web stories is to put this tool. I think it's very cool and it's amazing, and you guys will do all sorts of cool stuff with it, and we'll listen to the feedback, see what works, see what needs to be improved, see what needs to be there. We didn't want to spend another couple of months to maybe bring everything in and find out that no one uses it, or no one brings WooCommerce products, no one brings maybe some dynamic blog posts or something like this from. So
you were talking about that because I just saw, and I think a lot of the people here are thinking really very creatively about stories and outside the box. So Shirley has an idea that you can create stories and then save them and then use them as a slider on your normal pages. So that's a quite interesting idea.
Yes, it's very interesting. Right now you can't embed them, at least in WordPress. You can't take a link or an embed code to put them. They have the page they're on is an entire separate page. But yeah, very interesting. We'll have to listen to all the feedback and see what's needed and how our community and user want to use the stories, and we'll probably make it happen if it's possible. Well, we'll also make it happen if it's not possible, because we've done that a couple of times in this development cycle. So yeah.
Yes. So just quickly, Pele noticed, and I also noticed no Lottie element in the elements.
That's a very good notice, and I'll raise a very good question. I'll raise the question with my colleagues here, and we'll. I can't see why this was not added yet, but let me note it down right now, actually.
Right. So I know you mentioned it at the beginning, but I'm thinking still, if somebody comes to a story page, there may be a situation where you want to create a custom menu for maybe just a few other pages or custom links. So is there a reason why no menu element, or should we rather look at creating custom links by using the link function?
We can create custom links. You're thinking, you guys are thinking of using the menu element to push users on other pages on the website directly from the basically. I'm thinking the menu items are links, right? So you can create some links right now, and we'll see about adding. I'll put another thing on the list: menu element.
No, really, the responses here are really, really good. I love it. It's like I already have ideas, but what some of you guys are coming up with really, really creative and very functional as well. I can see this working very well. Ferndale is asking, and I think this may not only be for web stories, any plan to add a QR code element?
No plan. Let me add another thing on the list. QR element.
Right. So Michael say the beauty of stories that he's seen so far is the simplicity, definitely. And I think that's the whole idea. It's something that should be quick and very useful and practical. And Ed is saying you can release it now so that you can take it for a spin and beat it up. Don't wait. Give it to us now.
We'll look into doing that. Yes, as soon as possible. Yeah, we'll.
Okay, so Adrian is asking about templates, and what he means by templates is repeatable sections like social media.
Mm-hmm. Like sort of blocks for like we have blocks in. I'm presuming like we have blocks in the Brizy Builder.
Save and reuse.
Some sort of some sort of. No. Right now we don't have anything like that. You'll need to.
And I'm just curious. Can I draw an element from one slide to another slide, or they're independent, right? They are not.
Right now they're independent, but I was playing with this today. I was talking with the guys, and you will be able to use the shortcuts, the copy and pasting and things like that, because you are in the same page. So basically, right now you can't, but you will be able to move elements from a page to another.
Yeah. So Adrian has expanded on his question. He says, so his client needs stories for the whole month, and now he needs to recreate them every time. You can create a story, Adrian, and then you can save it. It's going to be able to save. You will be able to save your story. And then when you create the new story, just like we are doing with pages, you will be able to load those pages again, and you can even load different pages from different stories. You won't be able to load or save specific elements on a slide, but you will be able to save the entire story, and then no need to recreate it in the future. You can just load and use those pages that you want to use. Can we copy story and edit it? I think that's, yeah, Mohammed, in terms of can you save it and then use it again later as a template? Yep.
So let's see what we've created here. This is your story, GP. So let's.
Okay, this one worked. Okay, just to come back to Jennifer's question at the beginning, how it will display on a desktop. This is the desktop display. So you notice at the bottom you have your bars there, indicating how many slides there are in the story, which are 6.
And you also have arrows here on the right and left. This is your story, GP. So let's see. Hi, I'm GP. I'm an expert content creator. So basically, what we've done here, GP, is created a story for you, right? To sell your services or your
brand.
Your brand, yes.
Yeah.
And here I can help you with some branding, with the web design, content, consulting, marketing, and things like that. And here is a review from me. If you
5 stars.
5 stars. Great. Yes. And on the last slide, we have a button. Let's get in touch. So basically, when a user taps that on his phone, it will go to. You can put directly call you. For example, you can put the link to your phone number. Or you can push him or her to your website or to another way of getting in touch with you. So,
You ask how will it be displayed on a website? What you see at this moment is exactly how it will be displayed on the website.
This is how it will be, yes. And on mobile, of course, I'm sorry, I can't give you a link to this story right now because it's on a local development environment, and that is not accessible outside. But on your phone, of course, every slide will be full. Displayed on your phone in full 100%. So basically, you'll need to swipe through every slide on your phone.
And swipe, I saw the question. Sorry, Jeff was asking vertical swipes. Nope, it's going to be horizontal swipes, right?
No, horizontal, yes.
Right. Vertical is not a bad idea, but I think it's going to be horizontal for that one. And Heinrich was asking whether we can set animation between the slides.
No. Right now, no. You can't set it. It's basically this swipe. The slides will come from left or right, and they'll come with this swipe easing animation. There's no other options here.
Right. So, Dimi, I think we've covered a lot. And again, this is a case of once it's out there in the wild and we can play with it, we'll know what it can do and we'll give feedback. Let's talk about another very important question. How will this play in terms of SEO? I saw Carolyn ask a little bit about SEO elements. Will it be part of stories? And others have also asked about SEO. Ben Scott, yeah.
I can answer with a simple question. How do you handle SEO on your website right now? It's the same. It's the same thing with the stories, right? Because right now on your pages, you are handling somehow, right, with a plugin or with setting some meta title descriptions and things like this. The elements on the page, you can. The text, for example, let me show you. The text on every slide has, you can set for every text what it will be, right? If it will be an age or it will be a paragraph and things like that. So it's the same as with your current WordPress website and pages. It's exactly the same.
We had a question again, how is this different from Google Stories? And I think we did touch on it at the beginning. Actually, no difference, but this is Brizy.
Not much of a difference, but this is Brizy. You get it in a pack. So basically, you'll be able to use Brizy Web Stories inside the builder and inside the with the product you already are used to, right? So you will not go and install different plugins, different support, different, right? So you'll have everything inside the box.
Okay. So Kimo is asking if there's maybe an availability for a demo, just to see how this will look in reality.
Right. I'm not sure I understand the question. Right now,
so is there possibility like the story you just created here to share a link so that people can actually
I would love to do that, but unfortunately the server I'm working on this build specifically is on a development server inside our office. So this is encapsulated in a way that I can't share a link to this story, unfortunately. But we'll talk about the launch pretty soon, and I'm sure you guys will be excited about it. So right now I can't share it, unfortunately, but yeah.
I think we have, but I'll raise Stratos's question again. Can this have an auto trigger only for mobile phones? And I think the answer was no, right?
Sorry, auto trigger to display it only on mobile phones and block it on the other devices. Right now you can't do that, but let me see if I didn't put it down. Block on other devices.
Yeah, like conditions, probably something similar to conditions. Right. So I've seen a lot of the questions coming in again, and we have answered 99% of those questions. Thank you very much. If you haven't gotten to that, we will have this webinar up on YouTube within a few hours from now. No sleep tonight. and then you can have a rewatch. So don't worry, the questions have been there. This is a state of development. So what you see here is really something in development. It's almost there, right? And that's what we kind of do with a state of development, is to show you what is going to be there soon for you to play with, and just to give you an idea of what's going on. But I think what we've seen tonight is some really good suggestions. So this is really, really helpful. And I think very nice to see how the community is thinking in terms of how stories can be utilized.
I'm continuing to play. You keep talking, GP. I'm continuing to play with the element here and show you guys the possibilities. We have buttons, we have images. You saw that a bit. Icons, you saw it. We've touched on the embed. You'll be able to embed third-party whatever on your page. As long as they offer an embed code, you'll be able to bring it here. We have text. This is important, of course. I've just shown you maps. Of course, you can add videos, and you have all the options here to create all the things regarding controls, the cover, and all that nice stuff you already are already used to in Brizy. We have progress, we have lines, we have countdown. Very important if you want to maybe, I don't know, present a live webinar like this one, right? We'll go and create stories from now on, GP, for our webinars. Oh. And when we'll do that, you most likely you'll use this countdown, or maybe when you sell something or have a promotion or something like this. We have counter, we have shape, we have forms, of course. What could we do without forms? And the form in Brizy Web Stories is exactly the same from our main builder. So you'll be able to create here whatever form you like, with select numbers, paragraphs, check boxes, radio boxes, and so on and so forth. And
but
of course,
the integration would be different if you have Pro, right?
Of course, the integration
right.
will be different, and the apps will be containing Pro, because they are Pro territory. So basically, you'll be able to use it with the free integrations, right? If you link it through your WordPress to your WordPress website to send the emails, to use your email server basically. But if you want apps, you'll need Brizy Pro, the same way you do now with the Brizy Builder. But the contact form, like in the Brizy, the main Brizy Builder, is free. So all the options here and everything you can use for free. The apps, of course, are in Pro. And let's see if and rating. I should have used rating, GP, for my testimonial for you on this slide.
Yeah, that's fine. You're forgiven.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and that's about it.
Yeah, but that is it. So, Dimi, let's talk then about the state of development process, where we are, and when can we expect more of this to happen?
Stories we want to launch. This is it, basically. What you see here is the first version of Brizy Stories. And we want to bring it in as soon as possible. We were discussing in the office today, and as you know, we are working on the WooCommerce Builder right now. We are working on it. It's almost done, and we want to launch it as fast as possible in the next weeks. And after that, we plan to launch. The next update will be Web Stories. There was a short discussion about bringing them together in the same update, but we've decided to put a bit of space between them, because we wouldn't want such a great potential and product like Web Stories to be shadowed by the behemoth of WooCommerce Builder, right? We didn't want to push everything in one go. So we'll go with the WooCommerce Builder first, and then right after that, in a very short while, we'll come with Web Stories. And after that, the third update, it will be a design update. I think it's long overdue. we've received this question a lot lately. When will we add more design Brizy, Brizy WordPress and Brizy Cloud, of course, and WooCommerce, Web Stories, and then a huge design update. We have, I think, 20 layout packs already done, implemented. Everything is top notch. Some of them have 10, some of them have 14 pages each layout pack. So it will be a massive design update. I'm sure you guys will love it.
Great. Okay, and guys, any more questions? I'll hold it to next time. I saw there were a lot of questions not related to stories. We will probably in November, we will try to do a Q&A session once a month in the live stream on YouTube and Facebook, where you can join like we did previously, where you can bring your questions and we can look at what we can help you with. Of course, not technical questions where we cannot, but so be on the lookout. We will give you, again, information once we have the Q&A live update. So remember that the WooCommerce beta version is out there. So for those of you who like to beta test stuff, go and get yourself and sign up as a beta tester and test the WooCommerce. And if I heard Dimitri correctly, he said hope to release in the next week, right?
I said in the next weeks, a couple of weeks. But no, you know, lately I try to not, you know, because I get excited and want to share this excitement. Sometimes I've maybe pushed some updates a bit sooner. I talked about them, and things tend to pop up, and we push it a couple of days. We need a couple of days to test some things, and then if we don't manage expectations the right way, sometimes the eggs break in our heads. So I try to be more careful when I talk about release dates, because it's
touchy.
Yeah, it's never. It's always hard to put it on a specific date, right?
Before we announce the small surprise at the end, just to remind you that there is still 275 lifetime licenses left for the Brizy WordPress Pro. And why that is important to understand, if you take into consideration the WooCommerce that's going to be added soon, once it reaches 0, the lifetime license will remain, but the price of $299 will go up. So if you want to grab it at that price, now is the time to get your lifetime license for Brizy WordPress Pro. Right, and then for our goodbye surprise, Dimitri.
Yes, we are trying always to surprise you guys with something cool, maybe a showcase, tips and tricks, show you some, release some things, some new things. But today is not that day. Today we only give you the 15% discount for all the attendees here. If you want to get and come to our family to get Brizy Pro, this code will apply to personal and studio plans. And you can expect an email from us shortly. We'll send you the code over email. If you happen to have Brizy Pro, as some of you do, feel free to share it with your friends, family, or who knows who is interested in Brizy Pro. Share the love.
Share the love.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that.
Thanks a bunch, guys, for your presence today. Sorry for the small hiccups with the technical stuff, but I assure you this will be ironed out until launch. So we thank you for all your support, and we'll see you when, GP? In the next one, I guess.
Yeah, very soon. And check us out on YouTube. Thank you very much, everyone. Those of you who need to get to bed. Those of you who need to go to work, stay safe and take care. We'll see you soon again. Thank you.